podcast.
Welcome to MeatEater Trivia, the only game show where conservation always wins. I'm your host, Spencer Neuharth, and today we're joined by Janis, Brody, Randall, Seth, Marge, Collin, and Chili. This is a 10-round quiz show with questions from MeatEater's 4 verticals, which are hunting, fishing, conservation, and cooking, and there is a prize. MeatEater will donate $500 to the conservation organization of the winner's choosing. And for the stat of the week this week, we're looking at data from the first 2 weeks of MeatEater crossword puzzles. As a reminder, our website now has weekly crossword puzzles that are outdoor themed and free to play. It takes the average player 9 minutes and 5 seconds to finish all 20 clues. Their average score is 102 points. Now, I always test these on our very own Randall Williams before they get sent out to the MeatEater audience, and believe it or not, he's very good at them. Randall's average time is 2 minutes and 29 seconds, and his average score is 380 points. Only 2 players among the tens of thousands who have played so far have gotten a better score than him.
What's a perfect score?
Well,
how do you even get a score?
It's based on how many hints you use and how much time you take. It's just basically accuracy and time that it's factoring.
Because 380 doesn't mean anything if I don't know what like how good is 380.
Well, if you do it as fast as you possibly can and you don't use any hints and you get everything right, you get a 380.
We noticed.
Thanks for that clarification.
Randall got 380 points 3 straight times, 3 straight weeks, and we're like, this must be the max. So, one of our folks went in, Logan Duff, who had the answers in front of them. He typed them in as fast as he possibly could, and his score was 410. So
what was his time?
I don't remember what it was.
That's incredible. I mean, that's useful information.
To answer your question, Brody, the perfect score varies based on how tough the clues are on a given week and how many questions there are. There's almost always 20 clues. But we've noticed that 400 is about the ceiling.
3 times in a row you've gotten 380 points.
I just assumed it was a max score.
Their
offices are quite close.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 20 hints,
20 clues.
20 answers.
That's right.
And he's doing all that in 2 minutes?
2 minutes and 29 seconds.
Can we do this live
and that
next
average
time?
is going down. I think this one is
I think we should watch Randall do it.
It takes
live.
me longer than that
Yeah,
just to
next
read
time.
everything on there.
We'll film him sometime just to make sure everything's kosher over there.
I'm just shocked and appalled that the crossword game requires explanation. I assumed that everybody in the office was playing it.
That's a negative.
Now to be fair,
No,
even
who has time to sit around playing I mean, I guess if it only takes 2 minutes.
You don't have 2 minutes and 11 seconds.
even if Randall was cheating, the fact that he could Google those questions that quickly is still impressive. If you want to try cheating at the crossword puzzles, no one is stopping you.
That's even a bigger waste of time than doing crossword.
Yeah, why would you think I'd want to cheat? I just looked at it and said, I don't have the hour it'll take me to do this.
Wait, like I said, the average player takes 9 minutes.
Now
and
I'll
5
try it.
seconds.
I'll try the next one.
Okay, unless you're a doctor over there, then 2 minutes and 29
This
seconds.
is a huge confidence boost going into today's trivia episode. I hope that it's not setting me up for failure.
Is there going to be with this crossword thing? Is there going to be like a prize for the person that has like the best overall average?
No, because then it would just be Randall.
Well, I exclude Randall. I mean,
yeah, someday we'll gamify this even more,
Gotcha.
and maybe we'll start sending out some signed board games like we do.
I think expensive
for
prizes.
MeatEater trivia.
Do a Wordle, a MeatEater Wordle.
Hey, if people keep playing the crossword, there are more games to come. Now, the newest MeatEater crossword puzzle is live right now at themeateater.com/games. There are now 4 of them on our website that you can play. Please go there and try to beat Randall's suspiciously good scores. Here's our infrequently asked questions segment. If you have a trivia-related question for our crew, send it to trivia@themeateater.com with the subject line IFAQ. Jamie Calvert wants to know, on a recent episode, Corinne mentioned that there should be an outtakes compilation for the upcoming videos you'll be releasing. I was wondering if you have considered putting together an outtakes video from trivia and the collective content you create. I think it would be incredible to see the goofy moments that never make the show. Here's the thing, Jamie. We don't have outtakes because Phil doesn't allow us to edit anything out of trivia. Trivia is just what you hear is what happens in this room. If it's a 45-minute episode, that means you got all 45 minutes of us sitting in the studio.
Right. MeatEater raw and uncut.
Phil says the cameras make it too hard to edit things. But how often does Steve have you editing things in a regular Monday episode?
I mean, even before video, we didn't do a lot of editing, even with the MeatEater podcast. If there was like and I did do some editing in trivia before the cameras. I would cut out really long, awkward pauses.
Sure.
But now if we do that in video, then we just have to like crossfade all those, and it would look kind of goofy and silly. So when you watch on YouTube and when you listen to the podcast, you're getting the whole. There's no cuts, no edits,
no outtakes.
We should try and work in a nice long, awkward pause.
This is as funny as we get. There's nothing.
Yeah, all the goofy moments stay in. Now, instead of housekeeping this week, we have an announcement about an upcoming MeatEater project starting on September 7th. We'll be going on the MeatEater Tailgate Tour. We'll be making 4 stops at some of the biggest college football games this season and hanging outside the stadium before the event. We've got stops in Michigan, Texas, Tennessee, and Pennsylvania with crew members such as me, Yanni, Clay, Randall, Seth, Brody, and more. You can go to themeateater.com/tailgate for more information on how you can find us at each game. And this is your chance to be on the show at the first stop in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I'll be hosting an episode of MeatEater Trivia where fans will go head-to-head with Dr. Randall in the only game show where conservation always wins. But don't worry, I'll be giving those fans a huge advantage because I don't want Randall to win. So, if you'll be at the September 7th game between the Michigan Wolverines and Texas Longhorns, then shoot me an email at trivia@themeateater.com and tell me why you want to be on the show.
It'll just be like you'll find one person, and then it'll be one question, and then you'll find another one.
We're going to do a regular old episode, 10 questions of MeatEater Trivia. We'll pull in fans from the Texas Longhorns. We'll pull in fans,
How many fans
from the
do you
Michigan
think?
Wolverines. I don't know. Well, Phil has a limited number of inputs that he can bring on the road with us. So I think it's like 4 or 5 fans, something like that. But email me, trivia@themeateater.com, and tell me if you're going to be there and why you want to play. And then you'll get to come compete against Randall and probably win.
Obviously, I didn't get the full story before I agreed to this.
Randall just learned.
You're nervous now.
That he's fighting with this
Never
one
nervous.
hand
Never
tied
nervous.
behind his back for the Ann Arbor episode. of
Seth and
MeatEater
Brody
Trivia.
and I will be at the Penn State.
Ohio State game.
Right during the run.
Biggest game in the country.
It's
Yeah.
the big
Don't
the big
bring
one.
up that sore subject, Spencer. I wasn't going to say nothing about it.
Yanni was asking if he even has to go to the game or if he can get out of there and go hunting.
Hey, if we're going to dive right in, this is how I feel about this.
Raw and uncut.
So you might have to edit
That
this
will
part
get
out.
cut out.
I think we're going to get some squirrel hunting in the morning of, so
Yeah.
that'll make
There's
me
some
feel
good squirrel
better.
hunting.
Seth, you
Very
going to stick
close.
around there for a little while and do some
Giannis
deer
is going to
hunting?
be checking his trail cameras every 5 minutes. So.
I got right after that game. I'm coming home to
Okay.
do a week-long deer camp in Montana, but I think I'm going to go early
There you go.
and get in some hunting.
Yeah.
So you guys are going squirrel hunting, and I'm playing a stacked game of trivia. It's lovely.
Yeah, go find Yanni and Seth and Brody at that Penn State game, and Yanni will show you all the trail cam pictures that he's getting right during the rut. He'd be thrilled to show you.
If there's a cold front going on right then, that's going to really burn.
Yeah, you know, like music festivals, if an act drops out one of the 50, they'll just like cross their name out. That may happen with the tailgate tour if a cold front comes through on November 2nd.
Listen, Yanni, I guarantee you I'll be getting trail cam pictures from a trail camera will be about 45 minutes away.
Oh, that's a lot of information.
So keep that in mind.
You think we could act upon that?
I think we can make it happen.
themeateater.com/tailgate. Now, the Shelby Index for today is a 4, so our winner should get 8 correct answers. And with that, we're on to the game of trivia. Play the drop, Phil.
Look, I need to know what I stand to win.
Everything.
How's that?
You stand to win everything.
Suckers!
Question 1, the topic is conservation, and as always, this will be multiple choice. And this first great question is via Jake Burton. According to the National Park Service, what percentage of wildfires in America are caused by humans? Is it 25%, 45%, 65%, or 85%? What percentage of wildfires in America are caused by humans? 25%, 45%, 65%, or 85%? Our forestry expert over here, Seth, how do you feel about your answer?
I might change it,
Oh,
honestly.
okay.
Nah, I'm going to stick with it.
Well, there were a lot of folks very quick to answer in the room. Is everybody ready?
I can't
Marge?
run the numbers in my head again, so we should
Go
just
ahead
proceed.
and reveal your answers. We have Seth saying 65, Chili 85, Randall 65, Collin 85, Marge 65, and her answer is on fire. Yanni 25, Brody 65. The correct answer is 85%. I think we had Chili and Collin
Son of a bitch.
get that one
But
right.
I almost changed it, too.
Off to a great start.
The top human-related cause of wildfires are unattended campfires. Other human-related causes include burning trash, equipment malfunction, discarded cigarettes, fireworks, and arson. For non-human related causes, the top wildfire starters are lightning strikes, volcanoes, and spontaneous combustion. Question
Volcanoes.
two.
One of the top.
Two of those three
Listen,
seem.
there's only 15% that can't be humans, so there's not a lot of options out there. Question two, the topic is hunting. This brand, which is famous for their shock collar technology, claims to have the best-selling expandable broadhead of all time. The topic is hunting. This brand, which is famous for their shock collar technology, claims to have the best-selling expandable broadhead of all time. Seth, the only
you already have it,
person to
Seth?
come up with an answer
Yeah.
so
You
far.
shoot 'em?
I think, well, if it's what I'm thinking of, I used to.
Wow, okay. There's a hint if you know Seth's gear history. He used to shoot.
Which no one in here knows.
Seth barely knows it, he seems. He had to think about it for a second. This brand, which is famous for their shock collar technology, claims to have the best-selling expandable broadhead of all time.
You ever mess around with them, Janis?
No.
Expandable broadheads or this company?
Both of those answers. Expandable broadheads, though. Gosh darn it. I wrote down one, but I know it's not right. It's the other one.
Okay.
But I cannot think of the name.
Brody,
of that
do you
damn
have the other
broadhead.
one that he's looking for, you think?
I have the other one.
Oh! Well, there's a hint if Yanni has time to come up with the other one.
Well, who knows? He could be right.
Oh, maybe. Maybe.
Doesn't mean I'm right.
On.
This brand, which is famous for their shock collar technology, claims to have the best-selling expandable broadhead of all time.
Randall doesn't archery hunt.
No, no, I don't.
Again,
This is fantastic.
That is their claim. They put that everywhere in big old letters. We have the best-selling expandable broadhead of all time.
No, for this one, I need to rely on arguments I've seen on the internet between fixed and mechanical.
Oh, yeah.
And do
There's
you have an
plenty of
answer,
those.
Randall?
I do.
Okay.
No confidence in it.
Yeah, the Element Boys like to get in on some of that.
Is everybody ready?
I'm torn between two, but I'm going
Colin, do you have an answer?
Everyone's
Yeah,
got
just
an
a
answer.
guess.
Let's see.
Go
'em.
ahead and
Damn it.
reveal your answers. We have Seth
Oh, it's
saying Rage. Chili says Schwacker. Randall, Rage. Collin, Rage. Marge, without an answer. Janis, Schwacker. Brody, Rage. The correct
That's the only
answer
one I knew.
is not Schwacker, it's Rage.
Rage in a
Half
cage, baby.
of the room
Hallelujah.
got it. Rage broadheads hit the market in 2006. They set themselves apart by introducing expandable broadheads that were rear deploying instead of over the top deploying. Their first broadheads had dental bands holding the blades in place, but eventually went to using the patented shock collars.
I've killed some stuff with those, Spencer.
Yeah, a lot of folks like to blame rage. They're like the boogeyman for a lot of bow hunters who think that they didn't recover a critter because the broadhead failed them.
No, I've recovered bad shots on animals because of rage.
Oh, you think it was Rage's fault?
Big holes?
No. I shot a deer in the guts one time, and that thing didn't go far at all because the hole
cut it in half.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm sure there have absolutely been failures for folks, but people are too eager to just like blame the broadhead when they don't recover a deer. Question 3, the topic is woodsmanship. The 2017 Hurricane Harvey caused most of its $125 billion in damage in this state.
Harvey.
Randall coming up with an answer now. He's the only one. The 2017
Chili had a quick answer.
Oh, Chili was the quickest.
Yep.
The 2017 Hurricane Harvey caused most of its $125 billion in damage in this state. Yanni, what broadheads you shooting these days?
Iron Wills.
Oh, one of them guys. Have you ever considered an expandable broadhead?
Considered it, yeah.
Considered it, but that's as far as you've gone.
Yeah. I had a story about a Rage. It was right back when they came out and before they had the shot collar. And the guy I was guiding had figured it out that there was an issue with it.
What year do you think this was?
Like probably 10.
2006 is when they hit the market. So 10, that'd be in the early years of Rage. Go ahead.
And so they would take that rubber band off and instead just put like a little piece of like the wire that you would tie like a copper john body with. Mm-hmm. They just put a piece of that wire around it, and that would make it hold on longer until it got into the animal. Called in a giant, like a 360 something, and he smoked it at like 10 or 15 yards, and I watched it fall over dead.
Wow.
That's how far it went.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Rage commercial.
Yeah, sounds pretty convincing to use them.
Again, the 2017 Hurricane Harvey caused most of its $125 billion in damage in this state. Brody, I think we're waiting on you.
Keep waiting.
Last question. He was the one to say, turn him over.
I'm sure everybody
This
has an
question.
answer by now.
This question.
Yeah.
Says, keep waiting.
These guys.
Marge, what are you drawing for
just
us?
pick a hurricane state.
It ain't North Dakota, bro.
You got to pick a hurricane state with $125 billion worth of stuff to destroy.
That's a hint right
Wow.
there.
Is everybody ready?
Using all the available clues.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Seth and Chili saying Texas. Randall crossed out Texas and said Florida. Collin, New York. Marge, Florida, and she drew a giant tsunami wave destroying a city. That's brilliant, Marge. Janis says Florida. Brody crossed out Florida and wrote Texas. We have a correct
Collin
answer
might
in
be
the
right.
room. It's Texas. About half of you got that one right. Hurricane Harvey is second only to 2005's Hurricane Katrina for the costliest hurricane of all time. Harvey was a Category 4 storm that caused most of its damage through rainfall-triggered flooding in the Houston area. It dropped 40 inches of rain in just a few days, making it the wettest tropical cyclone on record in American history.
Jesus, that's a lot of rain.
Question 4. The topic is fishing. And this next great question is via Bill Dunlap. What's the part of a fish finder that transmits sonar signals into the water column and then receives the echoes from those transmissions? Collin has a loud marker over there.
Is that mine?
No. Is it Brody? Yeah, that's Brody.
Wow.
Sorry, Collin. What's the part of a fish finder that transmits sonar signals into the water column and then receives the echoes from those transmissions?
Who was the fella that sent this in?
when I tell you the answer, what's that going to inform you?
I just want to know what the guy's name was. I like the question.
Bill Dunlap.
Great question, Bill.
Good work, Bill.
I thought maybe there was a hint in there, like the guy at Lowrance who makes their depth finders.
It's a great question.
It is a great question, Bill. That's why it's question 4. What's the part of a fish finder that transmits sonar signals into the water column and then receives the echoes from those transmissions? Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Seth saying transducer. Chili, what's that say?
Transceiver. Yeah.
Randall, transsounder. Collin, transducer. Marge, microphone. Janis, transducer. Brody, transducer. He got it. The correct answer is transducer. Randall over there, I think 1 for 3 after riding that high of the 380.
This is why we need to have the cameras rolling. Randall's crossword puzzle.
Does it still say AKA
No,
the
he took
300
that off.
man?
I took that off after question 1.
Yeah.
Now, you know what real experienced fish finder users call them, don't you?
No, I don't.
Sounders.
Deucers.
Or deucers.
Oh,
yeah.
deucers. Okay. Yeah, as Yanni pointed out, on
Old school guys say sounders.
Randall's whiteboard for question 1, he had the words Mr. 380 on there, but they've disappeared ever since. Ray Marine says that the transducer is the heart of a sonar system. The common places to mount a transducer are through the hull, off the transom, or on the trolling motor. Transom-mounted transducers should always be placed on the right side of the motor because propellers spin clockwise. If you were to put it on the left side, the engine would create a vortex of water around the transducer that would interfere with the readings. Question 5. The topic is cooking.
That's a great tidbit.
That's a good tip right there.
Always needs to go on the right side, otherwise your motor is going to mess it up.
What if you're on in the
I think
southern
that's
hemisphere?
starboard side.
Question 5. The topic is cooking. This 5-letter spice, which McCormick describes as, quote, earthy and warm with an edge of citrus, is one of the main ingredients in chili powder. This is question 5. This 5-letter spice, which McCormick describes as earthy and warm with an edge of citrus, is one of the main ingredients in chili powder. Brody, you have this one right?
I do.
Brody or Seth, you boys ever bump a transducer when you shouldn't have and need to replace it?
Not replaced, but definitely had it at the wrong angle. Where
where
you're
it's
like,
like 900
water's not
feet.
that deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seth, you ever mess one up real good?
No, not really. I've had them suction cup before to the back of my boat.
Yeah.
Suction cup.
Yeah, I do that in Alaska.
Yeah.
When you want to take them on and off real quick,
Oh, I got you. Now, why would you take them on and off real quick?
because your boat's always getting beached and stuff.
Again, this is question 5. This 5-letter spice, which McCormick describes as earthy and warm with an edge of citrus, is one of the main ingredients in chili powder.
I know a guy who, not going to mention his name because a lot of people here in this room know him, but
Steve Ranella.
they've had suction transducers that were suction cupped to a boat fall off while they're running, and it pulls the whole damn fish finder overboard.
Whoa! That's a fun mistake.
Sounds like a Chester thing.
I didn't say any names.
Seth has yet to come up with an answer for the 5-letter spice that we're looking for. Yanni, you have this one right?
I believe so.
Brody, you have this one right?
Yep.
Does this spice have a place in your cabinet right now?
Does. You use it all the time.
Oh, wow. All the time.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Oh, shit.
Randall, how you feel about your
I
answer?
made your award-winning chili that most likely had the spice in it, and it was good. Award-winning?
Well, you should enter this year, Yanni.
I don't like recipes that have a bunch of stuff that you didn't make in them, and that's kind of even before I made it and ate it, I was I had a little chip on my shoulder.
Is there cans of stuff in that? Yeah.
Yeah.
How on earth do you live if you're not like, cooking with ingredients that you didn't create?
Well, it's
You
like
wanna
but
boil
it's a
some
separate.
beans?
It's a separate
Is that it?
recipe. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like those beans already taste like something. It's very manipulated.
Showing everyone.
Listen,
As opposed to
Yanni,
just adding.
I'll tell you this. It dominated the chili competition.
Hey, listen, I heard all about it. I read the article before I made it.
Do you need it?
Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers.
shit, I
We
just-
have Seth saying cumin.
Just erased.
Chili says cumin. Randall, ancho. Collin, Todd,
Little smirk there, Spencer.
Marge, and Janis, and Brody say cumin. The correct answer is cumin. Randall got it wrong
It
again.
is not your day, Randall.
No, I haven't been sleeping.
No,
This is kinda
not
fun.
You
your
might
day.
want to lay off on those crossword puzzles, man.
Yeah.
According to McCormick, cumin is one of their 10 best-selling spices in the United States. It provides depth to dishes and is a popular ingredient in both vegetable and meat-based recipes. McCormick says it goes best with thyme, cinnamon, red pepper flakes, and oregano. Phil, we're halfway through the game of trivia. Give us a scoreboard update.
Chili is staring me down here.
I just expect more from you.
Whoa! All right, this is fun.
Well, tied up in last place, we've got Maggie and Mr. 380 himself, Randall Williams. I've never used this tool before, but I can bring up this little cursor here
Wow.
and actually like highlight things.
Can we
So-
do this like the Tournament of Champions where the people in last place just leave halfway through?
And Yanni is now getting a video of it. He needs to remember this day forever.
Janis Putelis is up next with 2. Chili and Collin are tied up with 3.
Oh, I've got more than 2, bro.
Nope. And in first place, we've got Seth and Brody with 4 points.
It looks
Good job,
like
Seth.
anybody's game.
No, I think you seriously missed one, Phil.
Okay, question 1 was 85%.
You got that one wrong.
Okay, number 2 was Rage. You did not write
Got that one wrong.
Number 3 was Texas.
Got that one wrong, too.
Yeah, so you're
He's right. Good job, Phil.
Thanks.
Question 6. The topic is gear, and this next great question is via Barry Garrett. This is our listener question of the week. For sending this great question, Barry is going to get a board game signed by the crew. If you want a chance to win the listener question of the week, then send your question to trivia@themeateater.com. This product, which was originally named Water Displacement 40th Formula, was created in a San Diego lab in 1953.
Wow.
Chili trying to intimidate Randall with his quick answer. This product, which was originally named Water Displacement 40th Formula, was created in a San Diego lab in 1953. Brody and Seth and Chili and Randall, all very confident. Yanni has now joined them with an answer. Marge and Collin have yet to write anything down.
What was the category for this question?
Gear. This product, which was originally named Water Displacement 40th Formula, was created in a San Diego lab in 1953. And this is our listener question of the week that was won by Barry Garrett.
I think I might know it. I put something down.
Yanni trying to urge Marge to write down the
Go with her
correct
guts.
answer.
How are we feeling about this one, Randall? All right, crickets.
Don't make me tease you next game, Chili. I was a high school bully. I'm really good at that stuff.
I think that's a true story. I didn't know Randall in high school, but his wife once said Randall was a high school bully. So I've now heard that from 2 sources, including
Both of them know me very well.
Can confirm.
Did she know you in high school?
No, but she's heard stories.
Wow.
Can confirm
Stories
Randall had
traveled
a...
around.
They're
You're
funny
such a,
stories.
Such a
They're
bully
funny
that,
stories.
like,
He was a funny bully.
Yeah.
with a mullet, right?
Is
Yeah.
everybody ready?
I had a mullet. I had a Letterman's jacket that said red on the breast of it. It was sick.
Everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Seth and Chili and Randall saying WD-40.
Oh my god.
Collin says gravity filter. Marge says floatant. Janis and Brody say WD-40. They got it. The correct answer is WD-40. WD-40 was made to be a rust prevention solvent for the aerospace industry. With the scientists created it on their 40th attempt, the product was so popular that lab staff started smuggling out cans in their lunchbox so that they could use it at home. The brand blew up in popularity after WD-40 was included in service kits for soldiers during the Vietnam War. Question 7. The topic is conservation. The protagonists of this 1994 movie kill one of the world's rarest owls by shooting it with the cork of a champagne bottle.
Whoa. Are we looking for the movie or
the movie? Tell me the name of the movie. The protagonists of this 1994 movie kill one of the world's rarest owls by shooting it with the cork of a champagne bottle.
94. Jeez, look. The only people
1990.
are
Yeah, I
right
know.
in this
That's
room.
when I was born.
Yanni, you have this one right.
I believe I do.
Brody, you have this one right.
I think so.
Okay, Randall.
You know how
Boy,
I hate
I
these
hope
kind
so.
of questions.
That's right.
Mark
Brody.
this day in history because I'm not good at this category.
Yeah, you and Brody really dislike
is in the-
anything with pop culture.
This is conservation. I suppose a rare owl.
conservation. The protagonists of this 1994
Imaginary
movie.
conservation.
I don't
Kill-
dislike it, Spencer. It's fun. I'm just not good at it.
Okay, they kill one of the world's rarest owls by shooting it with the cork of a champagne bottle.
What kind of owl was it?
I'll tell you in the flavor text.
Get out of here, Seth.
Now we have a race to see if Randall can catch up with Chili before the end of the game. Chili had a 2-point
Never thought I'd
lead
hear those words.
going into question 6.
I just wanted to let you know, like, this is for scaring me the other day.
Oh, yeah, I did
scary.
accidentally scare Chili.
What did you like? Tell him you had cancer, or did you
No, I
surprise him around the corner?
I was walking past his door and I went, Chili! And he jumped out of his skin.
And I said
Okay.
some bad words.
Was it supposed to be like a Chili's commercial? Is that what you were
No,
going
I just
for?
like to sing. Chili's sort of has a musical quality to it.
That was Randall bullying Chili.
That's the
I
start
was
of
just
it.
on my way to the commercial kitchen to raid the fridge, see if there were any tasty beverages to be had. And then I felt really bad, and I apologized to Chili
You did.
multiple times
Yeah, he did.
because
Wow.
I try to always be kind to Chili.
Yes.
Again, we're on
All
question
for naught,
7.
it seems.
The topic is conservation. The protagonists of this 1994 movie kill one of the world's rarest owls by shooting it with the cork of a champagne bottle. Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Seth without an answer. Chili says Ace Ventura. Randall, Dumb and Dumber. Collin and Marge without an answer. Yanni says Dumb and Dumber. Brody says Ace Ventura. We have a correct answer in the room. It's Dumb and Dumber. Randall
known that.
and Yanni got that one right.
Man, you're good at that kind of
You guys
question.
had good Jim Carrey instinct, though.
Harry and Lloyd are attending a benefit for the Icelandic snow owl. When the accident happens, someone at the event says there are only 14 of these magnificent birds left in the world. Although there is no Icelandic snow owl in real life, there is a snowy owl that exists across much of the northern hemisphere. They are a vulnerable species whose population has decreased by 64% since the year 1970. Here is that video of Lloyd Christmas killing the fictional version of that bird. Play the clip, Phil.
This calls for a little of the bubbly. You're gonna be my best man here. Oh, good. I promise. Thank you. You have just earned yourself a seat at the head table, pal. We already got the tuxes. Boy, this party really died.
Again, that was the fictional Icelandic snow owl that is based off a real-life snowy owl.
Highlight of my day.
Question 8, the topic is public lands, and this next great question is via Justin Fay. The Bureau of Land Management helped pour the concrete pad at the Four Corners Monument, which is where these 4 states meet. The BLM helped pour the concrete pad at the Four Corners Monument, which is where these 4 states meet. Brody and Randall have already put their whiteboards down. They appear to have this one right. The rest of the room is coming up with their answer, except for Chili is yet to put marker to whiteboard.
And I haven't said a thing.
Up until now.
The BLM helped pour the concrete pad at the Four Corners Monument, which is where these 4 states meet. Speaking of Dumb and Dumber, on this week's episode of MeatEater Radio, which is now a week old by the time you hear this, we are reviewing The Gray, and Randall has already watched it. Yanni and I have not watched it yet. Phil, you're going to watch it, right?
I am. I have not watched it yet, though.
Have you? Has anyone seen it?
I have.
Yes.
I screened it for the first time last night. I think I looked it up, 161 F-bombs in 117 minutes.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. Who's keeping track of this?
I looked it up on Wikipedia afterwards.
I thought this was a PG-13 kind of middle-of-the-road action thriller.
No, there's not a lot of dialogue, and quite a bit of it is profane.
Great.
Randall declared that he has 4 pages of note for
I do.
what we were thinking
I can't wait.
would be like a 10-minute segment.
I've got a yellow pad. I have a lot of thoughts.
Yeah. So The Gray, you can go watch it and then go listen to the last episode of MeatEater Radio to hear what me, Janis, Phil, and Randall had to think of it.
And I think it's sort of unavoidable that we're going to have to spoil the movie in the course of...
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. I think that's a given. Anyone who hears that is going to have the movie spoiled, so you should go watch it first.
Yep.
Which we declared where? You can watch it on Amazon Prime?
And actually... it is leaving Amazon Prime, I believe, in 7 days.
Wow.
So this couldn't have been timed more. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Again, we're on question 8. The BLM helped pour the concrete pad at the Four Corners Monument, which is where these states meet. Is everybody ready?
Marge, come on.
Chili, did you not take geography class?
Yeah.
Shut up, Collin.
Go ahead
little light
and
bulb.
reveal your answers. We have Seth saying Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Kansas, Chile without an answer.
Fucked it up.
Randall, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona. Collin, Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, Arizona. Marge without an answer. Yanni saying Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, Utah. Brody, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah. The 4 states that meet at the Four Corners are Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, and Utah. I think we had 5 of you.
I just also want to point out that, Collin, you didn't get the WD-40 question right. It was in the question.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I get it.
God,
This is a nasty episode.
Yeah, that was stumped.
Ooh,
3
stooping.
sides.
I love it.
3 sides of the Four Corners Monument are owned by the Navajo Nation, and the 4th side is owned by the Ute tribe. There has been some controversy over the monument's location, with states arguing that the initial land surveys were off because of the primitive equipment used. A spokesperson for the NGS even declared that the actual Four Corners Monument should be 600 yards further west than where it's been placed. But because all 4 states accepted the survey markers in 1875, then the boundaries are legally binding and the borders will stay exactly as they are. Phil, we have 2 questions left. Give us a scoreboard update.
Yeah. Well, Randall's clawed his way back into the running. He's, I'll say, let's see, Maggie, I'm sorry, you have 1 point. You're out. But Randall and Collin are tied up with 4, as well as Chili.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
Chili. Seth and Janis are up next with 5, and in first place, Brody Henderson has 6 points.
Giannis went on a little tear there.
Question
That's
9.
still in the game.
So did
You know,
Randall.
600 yards, that's almost half a mile. That would really help some people out.
600 yards. There, when they were reevaluating,
To the west, you said,
should be
right?
further
yeah,
west
so
than
Utah
what
and
it is.
Arizona would get hosed.
They found that the borders, if you look at a map, they should be straight, obviously. They zigzag quite often in that area, and they found one spot where it's 1.25 miles off that they just took away from one state. gave to the other. But they said it's legally binding. Nothing will change since everyone agreed in 1875 that that's where they are. Question 9, the topic is cooking. According to The Atlantic, this is the default temperature that most American ovens go to when you start them.
Oh.
According to The Atlantic, this is the default temperature that most American ovens go to when you start them.
It's one of those questions that really separates the people who have ever done any sort of cooking in their life from the people who have.
Okay. And looks like everyone in here feels confident. We have a lot of chefs in this room.
I'm just going with what my current oven does.
Yeah, same. Which I hope it's.
But Phil, along those lines, I always like it too. Sometimes you'll be on a hunting trip and you have to hit the grocery store before you hit the woods, and you walk in those front doors, and a couple of people, this is usually a group of guys, a couple of people know right where to go and get to business, and then there's a couple dudes that are standing there like deer in the headlights, like, what is this place?
They go to the beer aisle first.
One of my favorite kinds of people watching to do is Costco around this time of year when college kids are coming back into town, and you'll see just like groups of 4 or 5 dudes like wandering through Costco, like
Tons of
looking
cereal.
completely lost.
Tons of
But
cereal
they've got
and
like
ribeyes.
3 cases of Coors in their cart. Yeah.
Again, this is question 9. According to The Atlantic, this is the default temperature that most American ovens go to when you start them. Is everybody ready?
I can't say.
Randall,
No,
this is your
Yanni.
last chance to change your answer. Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Seth and Chili saying 350. Randall says 275. Collin,
I
350.
misunderstood the question.
Marge, 225. Janis, 175. Brody saying 350. The correct answer is 350 degrees. About half of the room got that one right. Now, Yanni, what did you think I was asking?
I bet you I know because I wrote the same thing down first. Were you thinking the minimum temperature?
Yeah.
No, the default temperature when you hit the bake button on your oven, what does it automatically go to?
350.
I have a bake button.
What do you have?
I have an old
You got a
dial.
knob?
Oh, a dial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Marge. According to Taste of Home magazine, 350 degrees is the most popular baking temperature, which is why American ovens default to that temp when you start them. This is because a chemical reaction happens around 300 degrees, where food undergoes the browning effect. By cooking at 350 degrees, it ensures that your food will achieve that without overdoing it. Phil, we have one question left. Who remains in the game?
Oh, let's see. Well, it's down to Brody and Seth. Brody has 7 points, and Seth's hot on his tail with 6.
Going into question 10, we would need Brody to get this wrong and Seth to get this right.
We also need Chili to get this wrong and Randall to get this right.
And here is
Perhaps more importantly to some of us.
Here is a correct answer overview for folks at home. Question 1 was 85%. 2, rage. 3, Texas. 4, transducer. 5, cumin. 6, WD-40. 7, Dumb and Dumber. 8, Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, and number 9 was 350 degrees. Question 10, the topic is hunting. What animal has a minimum Pope and Young score of 18 and Boone and Crockett score of 20? What animal has a minimum Pope and Young score of 18 and Boone and Crockett score of 20? Again, we would need Brody to get this wrong, who
But I didn't.
already has an answer, and Seth to get this right, who does not have an answer. Brody is also chasing the Shelby index. He has 7 correct answers.
Still my buddy.
The index was
Still love you.
8.
You're still my buddy too.
Chili, do you have this one right?
I think he does.
I think I do. I think it. Yeah.
I watched his
watching.
pen.
Yeah, watching. Actually, I won't give any hints, but
Oh, wow.
learned it from somewhere.
Oh, I
that
thought
we
you were
worked.
going to say you were watching my pen.
No.
All right.
No.
All right.
I do believe in if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, but not this round.
Honest round.
First time I've heard that saying before.
I'm a meat hunter, Spencer, so this means nothing to me.
That's a good answer, Seth. Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Seth saying pronghorn.
Dang it.
Chili says
Dang it.
deer.
Dang it.
Randall,
Yep.
black bear.
That makes sense.
Collin, mountain goat. Marge, mountain goat.
I just saw you end with an R,
Giannis,
and I thought
black bear. Brody, black bear.
No.
The correct answer
Yeah, I was too. I was trying to.
is black bear. Brody got it right, giving him the
Still got the tiebreaker.
2-point victory.
Tiebreaker between Randall. Who
A
cares about
black bear is scored using two measurements. Those are the length from the back of the skull to the nose and the length from cheek to cheek. To see an official measure, do it with calipers. Go watch Clay Newcomb's video on the MeatEater.com called How to Score a Bear Skull. Brody is our winner with 8 correct answers. Brody, that means you get to choose where the $500 donation from MeatEater goes. What's it going to be?
It's been a little while, but now all these crazy people are back at trying to sell off public lands. Utah. You see what they're doing in Florida? Trying to turn state parks into golf courses and hotels.
Evil golfers, man. Yeah, they're coming for you.
That sell off things, an issue in the Montana Senate race. Anyway,
So
I'm donating to
$500.
National Wildlife Federation because not only do they do a lot of good habitat work, they also fight that public land sell-off and transfer bullshit.
$500 going their way via Brody and MeatEater.
Can Chili and I play tiebreaker?
We're not going to do that.
Come on.
Tiebreaker questions are very coveted.
The people want to see it.
I can use the tiebreaker that I was going to use for the episode when I hosted.
Oh, yeah. I wonder who'd get that
Yeah.
right.
Oh.
Join us next week for more MeatEater trivia, the only game show where conservation always wins.
Yeah, Spencer from South Dakota, he's the host. Using those smooth, mellow tones, he lays them questions down. And he likes taking those 2- and 3-year-old bucks. And he's an avid amateur rock